Most people book Bangkok without even thinking about it. It's like the default. It's the one that everyone talks about and everyone seems to have been there. But I spent 3 months in Bangkok and a month in Ho Chi Minh City in the last 6 months. And I want to tell you something that might surprise you. HCMC is not what you think it is. The problem, I think, that most people who visit Ho Chi Minh City never actually see it. They land in District 1, they walk up BVN, and they leave. And then they say, Bangkok's so much better. Of course Bangkok is better. You didn't even see Ho Chi Minh City. So today we're going to fix that, because I'm going to go through both cities properly from my point of view. Cost, food, nightlife, safety, vibe, and of course people. And every category will get a winner. And at the end, I'll give you the overall verdict. No hedging, no both are great. Honestly, straight answer. So let's go. This video is for one specific person. You're planning a trip through Southeast Asia, you've got Bangkok on your list, and someone has mentioned Ho Chi Minh City. And now you're wondering, should I do one? Should I do both? Or maybe I'm already in one and I might zip across to the other. This is the comparison that actually decides or helps you decide if it's something you want to do. I didn't just do a short-term tourist and arrive for a week and make a YouTube video. I lived in Bangkok for almost 6 months and I lived in Ho Chi Minh City for about a month. I know both cities pretty well. I love to explore, so I always go out into the wilderness. So with that being said, let's get into it. Things to do, let me be completely honest with you here. Bangkok wins this category and it's not even close. And I say that as someone who loves Vietnam. I adore Vietnam. But Bangkok has an almost unfair amount of things to do. You have temples galore, Wat Pho, Wat Arun, the Grand Palace. There's so much to do. You've got a floating market, you've got Don Donkey, you've got MBK, which sound like just normal supermarkets or malls, but genuinely one of the most chaotic and fun places I've ever been in my life. I love going in there. You've also got rooftop bars, night markets, Muay Thai shows, the weekend markets, the big massive stalls, massive shopping malls. Like, if you can't find something to do, you're bored. And HCMC has 1 or 2 small shopping zones. And that's the thing that about Bangkok that I think people don't talk about enough, is that every single zone feels completely different from the last. Sukhumvit feels nothing like Siloam. Siloam feels nothing like the old town. I may have mispronounced Siloam there, but hey ho. It's like multiple cities inside one city, and HCMC just doesn't have that range. Almost everything worth doing for a tourist seems to be concentrated in District 1, in one area. And people see that and then they assume, well, there's nothing else out there. So that makes Bangkok the winner by a mile, unfortunately. So when we're talking about food, this is the hardest category for me because I genuinely do prefer Vietnamese food, but I also love Thai food. So personally, give me a bowl of pho and a banh mi and I'm happy. All good. Vietnamese food is fresh, it's light, it's got layers to it, and I just love it. Like, I can't do anything better than that. But it's not just about what I personally prefer, it's about which city wins on food overall. So just bear my bias in mind. And for that, Bangkok would win. So because Bangkok has everything, it has, amazing Thai food, but it also has some of the best Japanese, Korean, Indian, Western food that I've ever had in Southeast Asia. Except if you want pizza, you cannot get that good pizza in Southeast Asia. But the variety in Bangkok is on another level. HCMC is getting there, and the Vietnamese food is outstanding, but the international variety, it's just not quite there. It's not Bangkok level anyway. One thing I will say about Ho Chi Minh City though, if you want authentic Vietnamese food, just go out to District 1. I cannot say this enough. The best food in Ho Chi Minh City is never going to be where the tourists are. Go outside, go further out, and you'll eat way better and it'll be half the price. So look, Bangkok's the winner, but Vietnamese food is personally my favourite food in all of Southeast Asia. So there's bias there, okay? So full disclosure, I don't drink. So take this bit with a pinch of salt, like take that with that in mind. I had a little walk down both Khao San Road and Bui Vien. So Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh City is like big party areas. And if I'm being completely honest, I would say that Khao San felt a little bit seedy to me. It felt like a street that exists purely to extract money from tourists who have had too much to drink. There's like an energy to it that I can't really explain, but I just didn't love it. So I'm not going to lie, that's how it was. And Bui Bien surprised me. It was chaotic, it was loud, it was colourful, but it had more energy and felt more alive. I actually really liked the live music, and there was some like rock star type songs, rock and roll songs even. It was really good. Now Bangkok has rooftop bars that are genuinely stunning, and if you want more of an upscale night out, then, well, Bangkok is the answer. But for pure street nightlife energy, I preferred Vietnam or Ho Chi Minh City for this one. I know this is probably going to be a controversial take, but you know, you asked for honest, and that's what we're giving you here today. I want to be honest. So the winner is Bangkok for upscale, Ho Chi Minh City for street nightlife energy. Overall, I'm going to give it to Bangkok, I think. We're looking at cost, and both cities can definitely be cheap, and both cities can definitely be expensive. It entirely depends on whether you dragged your Western habits along for the ride with you. If you want to eat at tourist restaurants and stay in the tourist zones, both cities will drain your budget extremely quickly. If you eat local, shop local, and live like a local in both cities, then both cities are incredibly affordable. My rent was actually very similar in both cities, but I got a noticeably nicer apartment in Bangkok for the same money. The SkyTrain in Bangkok is going to be a complete game changer because it lets you get around the city really quick, and it's also really affordable. Also means you don't have to use a Grab to get everywhere. In Ho Chi Minh City, it feels like it's more Grab bikes and scooters, which are cheap, don't get me wrong, but renting a scooter seemed to be more of a hassle than what I expected, and it worked out a little bit more expensive than I'd anticipated, considering what it being like around the rest of Vietnam. One thing that genuinely annoyed me in Ho Chi Minh City is the markets. Because we love markets all across Southeast Asia. I mean, who doesn't, right? We'd haggle, we'd buy fun things, we'd just have fun in the markets. But the markets in Ho Chi Minh City, particularly in the tourist areas, felt extremely overpriced compared to everywhere else in Vietnam. And we've been everywhere at this point. This was one of our last stops the first time round. And the traders felt like they were just done with tourists. They didn't want you there. You could just get out and go away. You could just feel their energy and the vibe. They'd seen too many people, they were tired of it, and the prices reflected that attitude. The markets in the rest of Vietnam, however, are brilliant, so please don't let this put you off, because the ones in Ho Chi Minh City tourist areas, I just go somewhere else, to be honest. So for this, I would give Bangkok better value for equivalent spend, and the SkyTrain changes everything, but a cheaper city is probably Ho Chi Minh City. So it's a bit of a tight one there, I'll not lie. So in terms of safety and ease, I would say that I felt super safe in both cities. I never felt a threat or anything like that. Neither one should put you off, but obviously you're in a main city, in a capital city, be careful, don't be a moron. For a first timer though, Bangkok is significantly easier. The SkyTrain will mean that you can get almost anywhere without ever having to deal with traffic. It's super fast, it's air conditioned. And in Ho Chi Minh City, the motorbike traffic is absolutely chaos. It's something else. If you have never experienced it, just imagine trying to cross a full river of motorbikes that just never stops. You'll walk slowly and they'll flow around you, so you shouldn't be worried, and you will get used to it. But honestly, for a first timer, I can understand that it is a lot. It feels a lot. I absolutely love it, by the way. I love the carnage, I love the chaos. Same in Bangkok. I just love the vibe, the energy. Bangkok does feel a bit more intuitive, a little bit more forward, future-proofed. The English signage is also much better in Bangkok, and the infrastructure is considerably more developed. If someone said to me, I've never been to Southeast Asia before, which city should I go to? I'm almost definitely going to say Bangkok every time, unless they, maybe want something with a beach. So for this one, unfortunately, it's going to be Bangkok again. So we're going to talk about people and vibe, and I want to tell you two stories here because they both say something real about both of the cities. At least I feel so, and you can let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, and that's absolutely fine. But we got engaged back in the UK the day before we flew out. It was so quick and chaotic that we never really celebrated it. We like sort of cheered with family and off we went. So we decided to celebrate in Bangkok. We went to Blue Sky Rooftop Restaurant. If you haven't been, it's absolutely beautiful. You should definitely go, although pricey. The staff didn't know anything about the engagement. They were just taking some photos for us, the way that Thai staff always do. And they were genuinely happy to help, always smiling. And then during the conversation, we told them, why we were there. They brought out some free cake, some mocktails, because they knew I didn't drink, and some sweets. They were showing the ring around the restaurant, taking Jessica's hand to show everyone the ring, taking extra photos, doing a million different poses. Made us feel like genuine celebrities, feel like we were the only people that mattered. That was just super nice. Like, the restaurant was really busy, and we still felt super special. And here's the thing, though, that's not a special thing in Thailand. That's how it is everywhere you go. Doesn't even mean to be just Bangkok. In tourist areas, the warmth is real. Outside tourist areas, it's even more genuine. Thai hospitality is not a performance, it's just who they are. And now Ho Chi Minh City, one morning we walked from our apartment to get breakfast. And similarly, Vietnamese are also super friendly. So we went through a park on the way to get breakfast, quite a long walk, and we met a guy called Thien, and he was trying to learn English, and we were just chatting away, and he started teaching us Vietnamese. This guy is like super lovely. He should be like the ambassador for Vietnam. We just sat there chatting for over an hour, teaching each other bits of the language, laughing, getting things wrong, laughing at each other. It was just brilliant. And we still talk about this situation to this day. We actually speak to Thien still as well, funnily enough. As we went through the park, we met another local guy, funnily enough, and he came over and he said, "Oh, tourists don't usually come here because we'd left District 1. Especially not walking," he said. And then he showed us his squirrels and his chipmunks that he feeds every morning, which is just so weird, but so great because that's like wouldn't happen in the UK. We hadn't even had breakfast yet, and we'd already had our best morning of that Ho Chi Minh City trip. And I think that's like the Ho Chi Minh City that nobody talks about because everyone just stays in District 1 and never sees any more of it. And if you leave, you will find something completely different. So for me, this is a Thai, and I'm going to struggle because it's for two different reasons. Thailand is very warm and has super hospitality. Ho Chi Minh City is very authentic. You have human connection, especially if you leave the tourist trail. So who are each city for? For me, I would say like go to Bangkok if you're a first timer in Southeast Asia, and if you want to like have everything in one place, if you want infrastructure, you want variety, you want some ease of life. Or maybe you are like I am, a digital nomad who needs fast Wi-Fi, great cafes, and reliable transport that gets you from A to B. And you want to fill maybe 2 or 3 weeks without running out of things to do, because that's super easy to do, right? You want rooftop bars, shopping, temples, night markets, all in the same city under the same roof. Well, Bangkok is the most complete city in Southeast Asia. Full stop. I can't think of a better city for having everything that is. However, that being said, I would say go to Ho Chi Minh City if you've already done Bangkok, or if you want something a little bit more raw, a little bit less built up and infrastructure-wise. If you're willing to explore beyond the tourist bubble and you want to understand Vietnam before heading up to the north to somewhere like, Hanoi or Hoi An. If you want to connect with locals in a way that's pretty much hard, almost impossible to find in most developed tourist cities, then go, but please leave District 1. Eat outside of District 1, walk outside of District 1, live outside of District 1, and you'll have a completely different trip, and people will think you're crazy when you mention how amazing HCMC is, because they will be like, that's not the Saigon I know. So the verdict for me is I would say Bangkok wins. And I say that as someone who genuinely prefers the Vietnamese food, who preferred the street nightlife in Ho Chi Minh City, not that I spent much time there. And I had some of my favorite moments of my entire 18-month trip in Ho Chi Minh City. But Bangkok wins purely because of the scale. there is so much to do. There's simply more of everything. More things to do, better variety in food, better infrastructure, easier for first timers, better value for money when you factor in things like the SkyTrain and the million different things there are to do for children and adults. And Ho Chi Minh City is honestly a brilliant city, but it's being held back by the fact that most people who do visit it never actually see it. They land in District 1, they stay in District 1, and then they leave with half-arsed version of the city. If you go into Ho Chi Minh City, go properly, or just don't go yet. Maybe you're not ready for that. You know, Bangkok though, I could live there long term. I did nearly 6 months in total and still felt like I hadn't scratched the surface. We were still going out every single day with looking for things to do. I say looking, it's so easy to find things to do. Even the malls take weeks to explore. And that is, for me, the sign of a great city. So Bangkok wins. It's plain and simple. I can't change that, unfortunately. So if you're planning a trip through Southeast Asia, I'm going to compare every country so you don't have to, because I have been there, done that, and probably do have the t-shirt. I think this one might actually be from Vietnam. So subscribe and you won't miss a single one. I've done Thailand versus Vietnam, Philippines versus Bali, and there's a whole lot more coming. If there's something you want to see, let me know in the comments and I will start the comparison right away. And if you're watching this on TV right now, do me a favour and search eyresey on your phone so you can subscribe. It's EYRESEY. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.